Hello, welcome to Big Topics in the Kitchen with Michelle and Kira. Today we are making apple pie while we tell you about ourselves and what we're going to be doing on this channel. So, I'm Michelle. I am a school psychologist. I work with kids with disabilities and work with staff members on helping kids who have behavior problems and things like that. And this is Kira, and she'll tell you about herself.
Hello, I am Kira, and I'm moving on to 6th grade. I have two households with two completely different roles. I'm lost.
Okay, talk about what are your diagnoses? What diagnoses do you have, Kira?
So I've got anxiety, ADHD, and what's the other one called?
Social pragmatic communication disorder.
I've got that, what you said.
Do you know what that means?
I can't talk. I can't speak correctly.
Well, no, it's not just that. You have trouble understanding people's social cues, like facial expressions and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So being around an environment of completely different people can make it difficult sometimes. So I just most of the time just try to figure out how to be myself because that can kind of be a really big problem with me.
Yeah. So
I need to play shy.
talk about what the pandemic and the schools closing and stuff like that, how that made you feel about that.
So right now we're in we did be in a pandemic, and I had to separate from the other half of my family for like 2 months. And
sorry about the dog in the background.
There's a dog.
Belle.
So I was away from my mom, so trying to get used to being over there again was really stressful. So I got into trouble a lot more since I did stuff that I would do here on a daily basis, changing up the roles over there, trying to remember all the roles. Every once in a while they take me to, we live next to, well, yeah, she took us to Casa Burrito, and we lived like 2 minutes away from there. And so I just kind of tried to figure out how to be myself throughout this, and it was a lot of tears and not happiness. And I hope something like this never happens again in my lifetime.
How does starting the school year off online, how does that with you, make you feel with your anxiety and stuff like that?
It makes me feel kind of nervous because I've been away from other people for such a long time. It's kind of going to be hard not being able to socialize at all. So I'm going to be doing online schools, which means I won't be able to talk to people that much. But I think it is also fun, so I can just, like, I'm better at, like, I don't like being in places with other people that are completely different sometimes. So, this experience kind of just lets me be myself while I'm also being my school person. So basically it's both sides. So I can be myself and I can be my school self.
So what we plan to do with this channel is we'll sometimes talk about how Kira's doing with her anxiety and whatever's going on in the world. We'll talk a little bit more about how the rules differ and how she copes with the different households and being at each place and how she prepares herself to switch houses each week. We'll talk some about what her rules and expectations are and as a kid how those make her feel, and just kind of giving you her perspective on things that we typically don't ask kids about, but sometimes it's important to. So today we'll stick with the pandemic and how that makes people with anxiety feel, kids with anxiety in particular. And I'm going to ask Kira to maybe give some ideas on which has helped her through the pandemic with her anxiety and ADHD, since we haven't been able to go very many places.
So my ADHD kind of lunch.
Yeah. And things that have helped her and things that have made it more difficult, things like that. So we'll start with what has helped you with your anxieties and hyperness during this year.
Well, first of all, the hyperness thing on trampolines, that's not going to be a problem. So, with the first part, the way it's helped me is I've learned a lot of copes over the years, and I didn't seem to use them until I actually felt like it was something urgent I needed to learn. So I started using the copes, and it actually started helping.
Coping strategies, is that what you mean when you say copes?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of coping strategies?
Breathing in and out very slowly and deeply and very strongly. Being able to, sometimes I close my eyes and dream of something really stupid and weird. Because it just kind of brings my side to another level. So, when I break down, basically everything around me has turned into nothing. So, when I break down, voices aren't that acknowledgeable. Like, all of that isn't noticed. So, it gets kind of difficult when, on my mom's side, when they're trying to talk to me, and I don't say anything back because I'm kind of focused on my own world. So, that's kind of tough, and it also gets me in trouble sometimes.
You want to explain what your meltdowns look like to us?
Look like what?
So when Kira has a meltdown, as she put it, she will slam her door, which you might expect from an almost teenager, but she doesn't normally act like that. And cry almost like an infant. We've videotaped it so she knew not to show anybody else. We don't show anybody those, but to help her see what she looks like so she understands why it's frustrating, which has, I think, helped some.
I just don't know how to like a meltdown I've had before in a long time. I still have some meltdowns, but just like to regather myself because I just need to get all of it out.
So what do we do here when you have a meltdown? What do we?
I get sent to my room so I can regather myself and keep away from all the annoying boys. So that way I can regather myself and so that way I don't get super grumpy or grouchy with anybody for the rest of the day.
So what kind of things do you do in your room when you
I
have to do that?
Draw, I listen to music. Music usually takes me to another place, and when I draw, I'm kind of in my own drawing world, and I mostly focus on the details of art while I do that. So, with all of that detail and focus, it kind of calms down my temp, like thinking of something else. And I regather myself. Because I'm calm, I don't react as badly, and I try to remember why I was having that meltdown. Usually I cry for a while to get out the feelings, and then I try to cope.
What about when you're at your mom's house? What kind of things do you do there to help yourself?
It's kind of difficult there to help myself. I usually go upstairs and lay in an 80-degree room, which they changed the attic into a bedroom because there wasn't enough space for me. So, life up there can also be stressful, which can sometimes bring my anxiety up because we got creaking floors. So they creak back up, they spike my anxiety.
You haven't gotten used to that yet?
No.
Okay.
I've gotten jump scares many times from where I walk into my room, sitting on the floor creaking. So I have fear of that now. Just prepare myself.
Stop those little bruised.
Got into a fight.
What did you just get at your mom's house?
A thing. I'm usually up there more than I am inside. But then I stopped for a little bit because there we had a bee and wasp problem. So I was on the swing, and this bee just decided to go sit right next to me and enjoy the ride. And my anxiety, I almost like screamed and ran, but I tried to hold it all in. I felt like I was gonna burn first because of fear. Because I just fear creepy creatures.
Help you feel calmer though?
Yes, when there's not 1,000 wasps and people trying to bite themselves in the swing. Because I think there's that. So, this swinging kind of lets my head move back and forth. Sometimes I swing until my stomach hurts because that's just how calm it is to me.
So if other parents who might be watching this, I don't know, got it. If other parents who might be watching this want some advice from like a kid who has some of the same difficulties as their kids have, what do you think you would tell them about how to handle like disorganization? Because with your ADHD, you're super disorganized, right?
It's just something.
Disorganization. Okay, what would you tell them about that?
Disorganization and ADHD and stuff. Mostly if you have ADHD, you're going to try to limit the amount of people. So you're going to try to get on a higher amount and a low amount. So you're going to be right there in the middle to make your child, or whatever age it is, comfortable. Because having too many people or too less people, even people without anxiety can have a little bit of an anxiety spike for the ADHD.
Very true. What about with like your disorganization with your stuff?
I've gotten a little bit better.
You've gotten a little bit better, but what things have helped you? Like, what would you tell parents about how to help with that?
Try to. Mostly, it also helps with my anxiety. Also makes it worse because I'm trying to get in school. I'm trying to get places as fast as I can, so I just kind of throw it in, grab something, and leave. So I figured out like when I have nothing to do at recess, I usually walk in and work on my desk a little bit.
Yeah. What about at home? What things have helped you at home with organization?
Remembering that my stuff will be garbage. That's a big one. I don't want my stuff to be garbage.
Kira also hoards things, including trash. When she didn't clean her room, we would go in and clean it for her. And we would say things that were important. But even at that, she likes being able to go through her trash herself to throw away. So knowing that we'll go in and clean her room to help makes her clean it herself because she wants to pick what gets thrown away. Even though, to be fair, when you throw stuff away, you throw the same stuff away that we would.
True. But it just was different.
Get it? This is our last apple, by the way. We're going to add the spices to it.
Oh my gosh.
The oven's ready. Yay! That's fine.
This is going to be very sour. I'm putting much green apples.
I put 2 green apples in there.
Part of it's going to be sour.
Put this in an apple pie.
The biggest one, by the way.
I know. What about how would you tell parents to maybe deal with their kids if they're having a lot of anxiety about school this year?
So if they're having a lot of anxiety about like school and stuff, you should probably help them a little bit, trying to tell them like everything that's good about it. And so troubles, helping them figure out like what's gonna happen so they get a good picture of it. If the picture gives them a little bit more anxiety, maybe give them a little bit of space for a couple hours or so, and maybe give them a little bit more treatment and a little bit like help them out a little bit. That's a lot.
That's a lot of apples.
Helping them cope through what pain or whatever they're going through. So another big thing is trying to figure out what part of it is making them upset. Because if you try to fix the part that's not making them upset, then it's probably it's like taking pills. So you don't have the diagnosis, or actually no, that's not a good one. Wearing glasses. You don't have to wear glasses, but you wear glasses enough that you'll have to wear them because it will damage your eyeball. It's the same with anxiety and trying to help. If you try to help with the wrong thing, it can just get worse. So you want to try and figure out what's wrong with them and use that to help you understand how to help them.
A lot of words. And so your social communication disorder is new, but we've always known that you've had trouble with that, which is why we looked into autism and stuff like that. But clearly you're aware of your difficulties and how you need help. And
when you guys come in, I'm like, yep,
yeah.
me.
So what are some, so we've been working on your communication for a long time, right? So what are some things that you can tell parents who maybe have kids who do have autism and aren't able to kind of voice their difficulties as well as you? What are some things that helped you before you were aware of what you were struggling with?
So sometimes when I try to figure myself out, like when I'm at my grandma's stuff, I watch videos with like other people with like autism and other disorders, which has helped me a lot also. So I watched that some of them can't figure out like what they're trying to say because autism, which can become a problem. So by watching their actions and how they react to different things can also lead you up about how they're feeling about something. So sometimes an autistic kid would say they're trying to choose a shirt, but they can't tell you a shirt, so they literally just walk over and point to it to find that they want to get that shirt. They're not saying, you don't know if they're saying, oh, look, this is a pretty shirt, or can you buy this for me? So you have to kind of like look at what they do after, like their actions. Like if you start walking away, and if they like grab it, or like if you nod your head yes, and they grab it, that would be different. Except that would be kind of hard, but I don't know how else to help because I'm not autistic.
Oh no, but you have some similar communication difficulties. What are some things like in terms of building friendships and how you interact with your brothers and things like that we've talked about that
So
you've worked on?
When I feel angry enough, I will hit my brother sometimes because it's a way to get out anxiety, anger, and a little bit of ADHD actually. Just trying to move your body around a little bit. So you have to ask Michelle the best way to figure out to not do that because that's still a problem I have.
No, you've gotten better, so what are some things that...
Mostly one of the things is I ignore them. I don't listen to them sometimes. It does I can't ignore them though when I'm trying to focus in my room and they just barge in like it's their room. That's something that really triggers me. So something that would help you guys is maybe if the kid with autistics if you guys have a lot of
communication difficulties, not even just
if you guys have a lot of kids, you should probably work on helping them explain to the younger kids like how they're feeling and stuff, and sometimes be in the result and keep an eye on everybody because that can become a problem. Once they get used to it and used to being able to say it, it can help, which I have not gotten really used to doing that yet.
You're doing better.
Yeah. It takes time to try to figure it out, but I'm pretty sure at least a year or two they'll be good. Sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot for them.
What do you think the most important thing is that any or all of your parents have done for you in terms of helping you with everything?
At my mom's, it's going easy on me. Like, for every single little mistake, they'll give me a second chance. Here, everything. Everything here is helping.
Well, okay, good.
So, something that helps here is, first of all, getting animals. Because they're just something that a kid can interact with that won't tell them that they look bad that day or like they wore the wrong outfit. So animals are a big thing, except for when we have to change the cat's litter box. I'm giving my cat a litter box right now. We've got 2 cats and a dog. So having the animals around is a pretty. Having
I got this.
the animals to help, because animals have something really cool about them, how they can like understand how you're feeling, and which makes them a really big help. And I am very distracted by what I'm doing. Like that's the name of my cat. But being able to have these animals to help me has become a really big thing that helps. And they're just, if you're gonna choose an animal for them, try to find one that's more relaxed. Now, if you have a kid that runs around and needs to get out the energy, a dog is recommended. If you have like someone who's calm and has someone with a lot of ADHD would be good with a dog, and if it's a male, honestly. With cats, they understand what I can feel inside, like how you're feeling, listening to your anxiety. So a cat would be the best thing to get for anyone with anxiety or any ADHD also, because they can help calm you down.
Alright. Next episode, we're going to make some chicken enchiladas. And I don't remember what we're talking about right now, so I'll tell you when we start. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below on the YouTube channel. Yeah, below. And make sure you tell any parents who might be interested in what we're going to be talking about that we're here.
And subscribe because I want subscribers.
Well, see you next time.